Speaking of which, you talk about the black seed, round seed, yellow seed. Like, I mean, how do you see that? You know, because I know you said when you first came in, you didn't think that you would be accepted right out. What was it that made you say that? Okay, that this does include me. This does include someone.
A lot of people didn't include me, and a lot of people that are good people in this nation actually were teaching that the brown and yellow seed was made during the grafting process. You know, which means that Yaqub's society was pretty sloppy because a lot of brown seeds were escaping. And the cremator was like, hey, what do I cremate? Because everybody left. Like, you know, people are escaping by the droves. It made no sense. It made no sense, and it didn't go along with archaeological data from Sertima. It didn't go along with the 120 lessons distinctly with the Indians being exiled 16,000 years ago. It didn't go with a lot of things. It didn't even go with the logic, which was something that was very profound when I started to teach here. When I started to teach the science of melanin, and that melanin is unquantifiable in the bodies. That it is made by all the organs, but unquantifiable. So even if you see it on the skin, that is just one organ. You know what I mean?
That's just one organ because it's made by
it's in all the organs, and it's manifesting everywhere. You know, it has to do with why we hear rhythms differently, and why we hear bass lines differently, why we see things differently. You know, the holistic nature of our thought. And you know, if you read Jude Pookrum's work and T. Owens Moore, and how they talk about how it's biological living light. You know. So I used to bring all these things as proofs because it was obvious that when I started teaching, I attracted a lot of light-skinned brothers and sisters, right?
Right.
But they didn't see, they were taught differently, and they were taught that, you know, the black seed is the most high supreme, and everything else is just a shoot, is just a branch off. There's no way that I could teach it like that. There's no way I could see it like that, you know? I think that there's an order to all things as far as once time is involved in things. And we would say, which came first, the black seed, brown? That clearly there's an order to that. Right? Just like there's an order to creator creation, but creation always has to be for creator to be, because creator is only creator with creation.
Just like man and woman, basically.
In that sense, you know. But in all things, when would a creator be such if he didn't have a creation? So something was always created in the mind. And to me, all those seeds, they were already in the mind, they were already in the genetic makeup. And that's the difference between the grafted and the original. The grafted had to be brought out. Something had to be mutated, altered for it to be extracted. Whereas in that reality, it was always in there. You know? So this became almost a different focus in the classroom. Almost something that wasn't really focused on. Not because like all the gods disagree with it, but because they wasn't light like me. So they wasn't really focusing on that.
So I mean, so I'm pretty sure you went into the pro-black element of the nation, where it says, you know, the black seed, you know, black seed, black. And then you come as a brown and yellow seed. You know, like how do you really relate to that? Like, you know, how do you?
Part of it was when I was asking these questions, Knowledge Me was really explaining to me that.
Okay, you asked them?
Oh yeah, of course these would be, Okay, and you know, Knowledge Me, a lot of, if people don't know him, you know, he's a black seed. I mean, he's as black as you could get, you know what I mean?
Right.
And, you know, he would explain to me that we were all original, that we always been original, and then all the original people was always here. Just as we always here physically in the mind, it was always here in the mind. So him saying that to me put me in a lot of grounding. You know, and I didn't feel like, I never felt like, oh, this is an inferior thing.
Right.
And then the studies I had on melanin and other things, they really put me on Cabernet, because again, the two major people that was really going back and forth with were black seeds, Savior Knowledge and Knowledge Me. And they never made me feel that way. They always, you know,
always built with you.
Yeah, and I think part of it was because I didn't really have that issue. If I asked a question and Knowledge Me, it was because I couldn't explain what I was thinking right.
If Mecca did this.